June 12th, 1997. This $100,000 check was Don's loan to the Costa Rican mafia run by, and I'm not going to say who he said it was run by because I only got that information secondhand from him and from our attorney down there, Roger Peterson. Don's first day back from Costa Rica, he wakes up, and while he's brushing his teeth, he calmly tells me that he is going to tear down the Caracal pins to prove that he was in control. He was angry that I had the trash hauled off, and had been mad that I had replaced the ant-infested den boxes in the Caracals pins before he left, so he said in retaliation he was going to tear down the cages. I tried to reason with him that there was nowhere for the Caracals to go, and to tear down their pen would be counterproductive. After a while, I realized that he could not be reasoned with, and told him that his actions have been so bizarre that I would have him Baker acted if he did not go of his own accord to be tested. He said, "If you do that, you will only live long enough to regret it." He said that he would poison all of the cats with antifreeze. I asked why he would inflict such a painful death on an innocent animal, and he said it would be worth it to him just to see me suffer. I told him to get off the property and not come back. I told him that if he did not go, I would have him arrested. I told him that he could not come back until he had been tested for Alzheimer's disease, and if it proved that he was sane and just evil, then he could have his divorce, but if the test concluded that he was ill, then I would take care of him until he died. Don asked what it was about him that made me think he was sick. He said that he was sincere, so I sat down with him, and I showed him all of the symptoms and pointed out the similarities. He finally agreed to go be tested, and I called all day, but no one ever returned my call about having him evaluated. The next day, he said he had Ann McQueen check with our insurance carrier, and that she had found a doctor for him to go to. He said he wanted to go to the doctor she found first, and if that doctor said there was nothing wrong with him, then he would agree to go to the doctor I had been referred to by the Tampa Bay Alzheimer's chapter. I asked if the doctor that Ann McQueen had chosen was a specialist, and Don said that he was a head doctor, but he didn't know who or where or when his appointment was. This is a note from the future. This is May 24th of 2020. I'm writing this. Howie found a Blue Cross Blue Shield receipt for Don's MRI dated 6/23/97 and some blood tests that had been run on 6/20 of 97, which was the day of his doctor's appointment for a psychiatric evaluation. On June 3rd, 2020, I found the prescription from the doctor for Don to get an MRI at St. Joseph's Hospital, and on both the prescription slip and the patient worksheet, he lists the diagnosis as bipolar disorder and altered mental status. All these years later, when I had not been able to find these documents, I thought that maybe I had turned the originals over to the police. Turns out I must have given them only copies. I also found where St. Joseph's several years later returned part of the money, saying that they had overcharged us. Through a chain of events, I discovered that the day of those doctor visits and blood tests were the day I thought Don had filed for a restraining order when I first heard about it on September 9th of 1997. I don't think I ever had a copy of the order. It had just been sprung on me by Ann McQueen, who was using it to try and have herself appointed as conservator of our business rather than me. Today, when Howie found the receipt, I searched my diary and found that I thought June 20th of 1997 was the date of the restraining order, but when I researched it, it was dated 6/12 of 1997 and recorded on 6/16 of 1997. I'm still searching for why I was told or thought that it was the 20th, but for now here are the copies. Regardless of my misunderstanding of the date, June 12, 1997 is the day that Don filled out the restraining order, and it makes sense given that he was transpiring on this given what was transpiring on the same day according to my diary entry, which was all of this stuff from today.